Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another NZ Octane podcast. I'm Daniel,
I'm Isaac.
and we're going to talk some more shit about cars because that's what we do best.
Sounds good.
Well, I don't think we do anything best, but we
Not
do.
by far.
No, exactly. So there's been a fair amount of things happening in the car world.
Yeah,
I mean, coronavirus obviously slows down things a bit, but
certainly doesn't help.
no, exactly. But a lot of the big motorsports are starting back up. We've got Formula One, which has now had its first couple races, which I'll talk about later in the podcast. Formula Drift, that's on today. As we're recording it, first round at Long Beach, California, which is quite good and interesting. And then, Isaac, you're going to talk about some upcoming cars?
Some of the new cars that are coming up.
Sweet, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, first off, let's start talking about the Formula Drift. So I started watching the qualifying yesterday. That was pretty good, except for the fact that I was falling asleep because I was really tired. But I was waking up for all the main runs that I wanted to watch. I first watched the first few guys, Chelsea Denofa. I can't remember some of the others off the top of my head, but they're all names that I knew. So they had some good runs. The main person that I was excited about being in Formula Drift when it was announced not long ago, only a few weeks ago, which it was Darren Kelly, who's up until this year was a D1 NZ drifter from here in New Zealand.
Nice.
And it sounds like they're, at least from what the commentary is saying, they're all quite excited to have him over here. Over there, over in the States. He's bringing something really special over there. It is I think it's a 2021 or 22 Aston Martin Vantage. And that thing is fucking sick.
Amazing.
I showed you the photos of it before.
Oh yeah, it's slick. Like I love the livery on it. It looks amazing.
I mean, I love the new Vantages as well, but with that Heart of Racing livery, it looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like, what a lucky guy to be able to be drifting in Formula D and something like that. So that has the Vantage. It came with it's a 6-litre V8 it comes with.
Yeah.
But they've done something different. They've swapped out that V8 for a V12 from the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which I don't think has been released yet.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
No. So yeah, V12, but it's got a spicy little twist to it. Twin superchargers it has. I don't think I've ever really heard of twin superchargers being used before. I've heard of twin turbos, but even you, when I told you, you were like, how does that work?
Stacks them, just a big fucking blower out
the top. Not quite. It looks like, at least from photos of it, they've got a supercharger on each of the V's, I guess you'd describe it, of the engine in the simplest terms.
Yeah. The sound.
Bro, that sound from that one video that I showed you, it sounds fucking incredible.
Yeah.
They had been having issues with it though, because like they were basically building it right up until D-Day, as you'd call it. And I don't know exactly what the issues were, but there were some mechanical issues. It wasn't as powerful on the day during qualifying as they were hoping, which was probably good because like of the issues that they were having, that they had to tone it back a bit because it wasn't reaching its full capacity. But I think they said they were running at about 750 horsepower.
Or just casually.
Just a casual 750 horsepower. It's funny though, because like now that like back in the day before we were born, you talk about like 300 horsepower, like it was heaps. Yeah. I mean, it is still quite a bit, but now you're like, oh, that person's only running a 750 horsepower drift car. Like I remember saying that about Adam LZ's S15 last year. I'm like, it's only 750 horsepower, but in comparison to some of the other cars, like the I think Vaughan Gittin Jr. and Chelsea Denofa, their Mustangs were like 1200 horsepower. Or at least some tracks they'd run it at 1200 horsepower, which is fucking heaps. Yeah. Like I couldn't even imagine. Oh, I could imagine, but I've never driven a 750 horsepower car. But I can imagine it would be a lot. It would be so hard to handle. And then 1200, you're almost doubling that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they'd be like, okay, let's just give the throttle a little blip. And it's like, well, there goes the back end.
Sideways into a wall. Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. But, no, this Aston Martin, it is just the coolest thing. And by the sounds of it, everyone there is stoked to have them. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a shame that he's not going to be competing over here in D1NZ. But at the same time, good on him. Like Formula Drift is that next step, so
Yeah.
he'll probably be following that Mad Mike sort of route, I think.
Yeah.
Well, because Mad Mike competed in here. I don't know if he ever won D1NZ here. He might have. But then Mad Mike went over to the US and competed in...
Yeah.
Sorry, he went over to Japan first, I think, to compete in Formula Drift over there. Won it a couple times over there. Once or twice, from memory. And then went over to America to compete in Formula Drift, where I don't think he ever won.
Mm-hmm.
He did all right, but I don't know what his scores or how well he did.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, wasn't amazing. But I don't know. I'm just going off from what I've heard from other people. For all I know, he could have come second in one of the championships, which is still a hell of a lot better than I can do.
God, yeah.
It's still phenomenal. And I mean, now he's considered one of the best drifters in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
But no, good on Darren Kelly, and awesome to have a Kiwi over there competing.
Yeah.
For us, it's always good to see Kiwis competing in motorsports overseas, like Liam Lawson competing in Formula 2. Fingers crossed, gonna be in Formula 1 next year. I really hope he's gonna be in one of those AlphaTauri seats. But
keep my fingers crossed for him.
yeah, exactly. But so that's enough about, I think, Darren Kelly and Formula Drift and all that for now.
Because like you were saying about the it's got the Valkyrie engine. I've been doing a little bit of homework on it, so
Yep.
The Valkyrie, I absolutely love them. I think it's an amazing car.
I think it looks really cool. Conceptually, at least as a car, it looks a lot different to a lot of the other supercars and hypercars out there. It's got a really unique shape and look about it.
Yeah. No, it's so sleek, and I just think they've really sort of outdone it. Aston Martin's always sort of had a specific design when they design their cars. Like, there's no mistaking that it's not an Aston Martin.
No.
Yeah.
Well, like what I found with Aston Martin is all of their cars look really similar. The DB9s, DB11s, Vantages, all look different. But like the Valkyrie looks like an Aston, but it doesn't look like an Aston.
Yeah.
It doesn't go for that typical Aston Martin body shape. This is completely, like, I would say, groundbreaking in terms of design and with what Aston Martin's going with. Yeah.
So the starting price is that's where probably it's going to break the bank a little bit. It starts at 5.2 million.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's a hypercar.
5.2 million.
Yes.
That's like 5 houses in Auckland.
Yeah.
That's heaps.
It's a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 with 1,000 horsepower and 545 foot-pounds of torque.
Shit. Okay, so I can see why they've chosen that engine.
Yes.
And that's why, I guess, them running it at 750 horsepower. Granted, Long Beach is a very tight circuit, so you don't want to be running 1,200 horsepower on that. But it's probably the good thing from the issues that they've been having.
Yeah.
That they're not running that 1,000 horsepower.
Start slow and maybe click your way up to the 1,000.
Well, because they hit I'll go back to the what was it, the Vantage, the D1NZ one, Darren Kelly's Vantage. I'll go back to that for a moment. So they didn't have much time to do any testing or practice. Like he'd only done a couple runs in that car at Long Beach before he had to go out for qualifying. Like, that was pretty much the most he'd driven the car. Yeah. I think they got a couple practice laps out somewhere before they had to leave for Long Beach. But that's probably why they're having a lot of these issues, because they haven't been able to have the time to work out the kinks and bugs yet. Yeah. But, sorry, back to the Valkyrie now.
Another thing that you'll find quite exciting, they've done a little bit of a crossover. Yeah. They've done some of the engine work with Rimac.
Who? Rimac? Oh, Rimac.
Sorry, Rimac.
Rimac. Yeah. Sorry. They did the... Yeah. That's the one that Richard Hammond had the really bad crash in.
Yes. The Rimac designed electric system will add a further 160 horsepower.
As if 1,000 wasn't enough.
No. And that adds another 206 foot-pounds of torque. So it's got 1,160 horsepower at 10,500 RPM.
That's a high revving engine.
Yes. Performance it's got a 0 to 60 of under 3 seconds, and it can do excess of 200 mile an hour.
Fuck.
Just casually, you know.
Just a casual.
Yeah.
I don't even know what 200 mile an hour is.
300 and over 300.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's probably about 360, I would assume.
I would say something like that. That'd be about 360.
Converting freedom units to real units, it's probably about that 350,
I'd say
360.
so. Yeah.
But that's...
I mean, if you ever got one, and I would never turn one down in a million years. I'd break the bank.
I would love to drive one. Like, that'd be amazing getting to at least just drive one, because just the look of it, it looks like it would feel amazing to drive.
Yeah. Because where in Auckland could you hit 360 kilometers an hour? Maybe
I'm definitely not gonna mention where I've hit 200k an hour.
Maybe out like the back of Drury in the middle of nowhere. There's straight roads out there.
The Western Motorway.
That's true.
I reckon you could along the Western. You'd be able to hit 300.
Between Westgate and Albany Highway, heading that direction.
I reckon you would. Once you come down the hill past Greenheath there, along the straight there, getting to Massey, I reckon you'd be able to hit some 300.
Damage along there, couldn't you? Absolutely.
Along. Yeah, that would be. I'm just imagining it now. That would be amazing.
That'd be nasty.
Lots of cops there, but I guess if you're
going 300,
if you're going 300, are they really gonna catch you?
No,
they'll just send the Eagle after you. But so you'd have to hide the Valkyrie. But
I mean, at that speed, the helicopter probably couldn't keep up.
I reckon, you'd be pretty tough to. Be pretty hard to try and catch it.
No,
you'd have to hide it real quickly though, and not drive it for quite a while after that, because that would.
You'd be the only one in New Zealand, so they'd know where you are.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be phenomenal. But no, there's no real drag strips or anything around here that you could hit 300 in a car like that.
No, not really.
That'd be cool though.
Because I mean, I've hit 300 once.
On a closed road, of course.
Yeah, of course, closed road. And that was, but even then, like, you run out of road before you reach top
exactly.
speed, so it gets hard at that point.
Yeah.
But the one sad thing about this car, they're only planning on producing 150 of them so far. But
so Aston Martin, if you guys want to invite me and Isaac out to come and test drive the Valkyrie,
please
feel free to send us an invite. I mean, we'd love to.
Oh yeah.
Any other car manufacturers, in fact, if anybody wants us to come test any cars, we'd be more than happy to.
Please.
We'll keep plugging that every single podcast. I reckon from now we'll just please sponsor us. Please let us come test your cars.
Toyota parts, please. I love you.
We'll put a Toyota genuine sticker on your Supra.
Fuck yeah. What about the Corolla, bro? That one.
Oh fuck yeah.
Only genuine for that one.
I reckon we got a 2JZ swap the roller.
No, but I do want to do it. Like, it's a lovely car. I'll never bag Toyota. I love them to death. My car's got like 260 on the clock, the Corolla, so it's lived a good life.
Yep.
When it's on its last legs, I want to chop the springs. I want to turn it into an absolute hoary mobile.
Can we cut a hole in the bonnet and flip the headers upside down? I've always wanted to do that on a car.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put a pod filter on it. I'm gonna chop the springs. I'm gonna
It's gonna be so much fun, and we got to take it to a car meet like that.
Oh god, yeah. Hood mounted exhaust and just do like a little methanol injection at the end, wash the fucking shit flame.
Cut springs. We'll try. I reckon we should try find some real cheap deep dish rims. Just some real shitty ones off Facebook Marketplace that we can just stick on.
$200, like curb to high hell. Oh yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get some custom stickers made up for it. I reckon. We'll roller gang.
Yeah. Have it like 300 big on the front windscreen, block out everything I can't see. Totally illegal. If
we can, we've got big rims on the front, small ones on the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And cut springs, and just.
Oh, that'd be.
I reckon we should just take out the springs, We'll just run it springs.
It's almost there. I didn't have a ute, and I needed to move some like a literal ton of paving bricks. I could chuck that all in the boot, bro. Yes, the Corolla handled it. It worked. I got home. I hit one speed bump, and I lost steering because the front wheels lifted off the ground. So that was a bit sketchy. And now the back end's a little bit soggy, just a little bit, but it handles. So you probably don't even need to cut the springs. Just load some more bricks in there. And
I reckon we'll just chuck some sandbags in the car and some bricks, and we'll just
get some of the cuzzies to sit up front and have the whole car sacked as.
Oh, bro, I think we got a plan.
Fuck yeah, sounds good.
Well, leading on from poorly modifying cars, somebody who's actually modifying a car really well and doing something real cool, Mad Mike, who we talked about a little bit earlier. He's building the 4-rotor. Fucking one of the greatest engines ever.
It's a turbocharged 4-rotor, and it makes roughly 1,200 horsepower to the rear wheel.
Yeah, Mazda 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
1,200 horsepower to the rear. They have to rear wheel drive convert that car, won't they?
I think so, yeah.
Because that is the Mazda 3 from factory would probably be a front wheel drive.
I'm 99% sure.
If I'm not mistaken, it'd be front wheel or all wheel.
I'm pretty sure it's front wheel because my missus has that one. And
oh, does she? Yeah, so that'd be front wheel.
Yeah.
And but his is the later one. It looks longer than Brooks' car though. But like, the concept of what they've shown of it looks fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that with a 4-rotor in it, I think we know what Brooks got to do to her car now.
Yeah, but no, she in a perfect world, if she was to do anything to a car, she'd buy an Eleanor, she'd buy a Mustang, and absolutely rip that thing to high hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited to see what that's going to do up Pikes Peak as well, because I mean it's just so different, and who doesn't love good rotary?
God, yes.
I mean, especially a 4-rotor. I've shown you how many videos of the Mazda 787B.
It's so iconic. I'd heard about it before you, but since seeing you, it's just become a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Because,
I feel like I've slowly been getting Isaac into rotaries just a little bit.
I respect them more now. Not that I didn't respect them.
I'd say you've been getting a little bit more fond of them.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're probably a 2J man.
Always. Till death do I part.
And so, but now I'm starting to at least try and convert you over to the rotor side a little bit more.
Yeah. No, you definitely are.
It's not exactly a bad thing.
No. Though I'd get a rotary, and I do like what you'd hope to do to the Porsche. Like rotary swap something that you wouldn't expect to see a rotary in, and just absolutely hoon it. But
not rotary swapping the Porsche anymore. I don't think I've mentioned that on the podcast yet.
You have yet.
Not rotary swapping the Porsche anymore. There's a good reason for that, because 2 weekends ago now, Isaac and I picked up the original engine for the Porsche. So I was actually today after the podcast going to go over to Greg's place and start pulling apart the engine, but can't be bothered.
It's Sunday.
I've got I'll chill out. I've got not this upcoming week, but the week after that off, so I'll probably go around then.
Nice.
Start pulling apart, but not gonna pull the engine apart and not rebuild it, but get it back to a running stage. The engine runs currently, but it's blowing lots of smoke, so indications say that it's bearings. Oh, sorry, not bearings, rings. I'll check the bearings at the same time, the new gaskets and all that, make sure everything in the internals is fine. Put it back together, chuck it in the car, get the car running, and then try and swap it for an FC or FD RX-7 rolling body.
Yeah.
That's the plan. That's the dream. Hopefully I can.
Yeah.
And then once I get one of those, it's going to be just strip it back down, pull everything out of it, basically pull it back to a completely shell.
Yeah.
And just start from scratch with the car. Just rebuild it entirely to exactly how I want it. Make sure everything is absolutely pristine and perfect. So
it's your baby at that point then.
It'll be my baby. It'll be never selling it. I don't want to sell the RX-8, but I don't want to sell any cars that I own really.
I mean, but for an RX-7, would you?
No, I'll still keep that.
Oh, fair. Daily to 8 and Sunday drive to 7.
Still keep the 8 as a weekend car.
Oh yeah, fair.
I'll have 2 weekend cars.
One for Saturday, one for Sunday.
Yeah, well, I want to build the RX-7 to be a show. Like, I want to keep it in show condition, basically. That's why I want to rebuild it from scratch and have it perfect. And, like, it's only going to come out on special occasions. Like, it's going to be my baby. Like, but, what was the other car that you were going to talk about?
The new 2022 BRZ.
Oh, very nice.
So, I've never been the biggest Subi man, but it's always because the people around me said, "Oh, the boxer engines are shit."
Subi gang!
It's people like that make me lose a little bit of faith for the Subi community.
Fair enough.
But no, I think it looks actually really nice. I think they've done it tactfully and they've not gone stupid with the new design instead of...
It still looks very much like the old one. But I mean, the BRZ and the GT86 from Toyota are same car.
Yeah.
I think they even ran the same engine. They both had a boxer engine in it. But from what I understand, don't quote me on this, at least what I remember seeing or something, was that Toyota may be putting a Toyota engine in their one, at least in the GR one.
I think you're right there, yeah.
Which would be fucking cool because, like, car looks awesome.
Yeah.
But how cool would it be to have the Subaru BRZ have boxer engine
Mm.
and then the Toyota to have a Toyota engine?
Yeah.
It would be cool. So that way you've got those two options. And then it's
Yeah.
also same car, different feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But no, I think it looks good.
the styling does look nice.
It's probably a bit controversial. I do think I don't have a photo on me, but I feel like they're taking a little bit of inspiration off some of our Porsche designs as well.
Really?
So yeah, I'll just quickly Google it, but it starts at 29k, which is
That's not bad.
a little better than the
Well, I
than
mean, it's designed to be an affordable sports car.
yeah.
So
It's got a 228 brake horsepower. It's roughly
228, that's good.
yeah.
That's a bit of an improvement from the first series because the first model of the 86 and BRZ, and obviously when it was released, Scion FRS, that was only about 200 horsepower. So that's good that they've bumped it up to, what did you say, 238?
228.
228. That looks very nice. I do like that.
Yeah, so that's what the new one looks like, and it's a subtle change, but at the same time, like they didn't drastically change what the car is.
No.
It's still, you can tell what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Without having seen it.
Well, exactly. It's the thing, and it's now almost becoming a modern day. Well, it is a modern day sports car, but it's basically like the affordable sports car, how it was back in the 90s. Like back in the 90s, the affordable sports cars were Skylines, Silvias, RX-7s, Supras.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, which ones were affordable.
Yeah.
All those cars were affordable sports cars, and the BRZ and the 86 is that equivalent. I just wish that there was more affordable sports cars out these days. Like,
each company sort of bringing out one, maybe two, and it's like, this is great, but cost more.
yeah, well, that's why I like the Nissan 400Z.
Oh yeah.
Because that's, I think, about 40 grand American
Okay.
brand new, which is pretty cheap,
Yeah.
and only comes in a 6-speed manual. 400 horsepower from stock, which is heaps, but people are still going to chuck bolt-ons on that. And
Of course.
it's a good amount of power to start off with, but if you want to build it to more, you can. So that's what's good about but I'd like to see more reliable, more modern day affordable sports cars out there to start replacing some of those 90s ones, because the 90s ones are so cool. That's why I want to get an RX-7, but they're just so hard to get now and so hard to maintain and find parts for that. Like, I don't want sports cars to die out, and I'm sure a lot of the car community is the same. We don't want sports cars to die out.
Never.
I would be happy with modern sports cars coming in and buying some of these more modern sports cars when they get down to my affordable pricing. But it's just not. Which is why the 86 and the BRZ is such a good car, because it's one of the few in that market at the moment.
Yeah. But it'll be good, because even nowadays you get the ones you find that are affordable have just been owned by a bunch of bloody hooligans.
Yeah.
Engines destroyed and there's rust everywhere and it's just not been looked after.
No. And even then they still want stupid money for it.
Of course.
Like, what, 10, 15 years ago, people telling me, like, you could buy Silvias for fucking 2-3 grand. You buy RX-7s for fucking 5, 7, 8 grand. Supras for dirt cheap.
8 years ago, I knew a lot of people that bought Supras, like lower mile Supras, for 8k, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8k.
Far out.
And they had to do a little bit of work, like you'd expect, but still 5k for a Supra.
That's only you can only dream about that now.
Yeah,
more than quadrupled. They've
because I think the 90s generation of Japanese sports cars, our kids, they will not have that. There'll be one or two in the community.
It'll be the GT86s, BRZs, and if you've got a bit more money, probably the 400Z or Nissan Z.
Yeah.
That's why these car companies should be releasing more.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't die out. And I really hope that with the government's trying to bring in this all electric cars by 2030, I really hope that goes out the door, because I don't think they realize how unachievable it is.
At the moment, It's an amazing idea, and I respect that they're trying to be clean, green, and Aotearoa, all that.
It's not even New Zealand doing it. It's just it's all over the world.
It's not currently. It's not sustainable.
No,
it can't. Like if everyone in New Zealand today was to get an electric car, no matter what it was, New Zealand would run out of power. We can't sustain that.
No, which is why I'm glad that Formula One's doing what they're doing, and they're working towards having a 100% sustainable fuel, so that where they can still run internal combustion engines. Because if Formula One gets rid of the internal combustion engine, that's a sport gone. You may as well consider it Formula E at that point. Yeah. Which Formula E is crap. I've watched some of the races, and it is fucking boring. The cars sound shit. That's what they sound like. They sound absolutely horrible. The racing's boring. It's just... If Formula One becomes that, it's going to kill the sport. There's going to be no more Formula One. Yeah. So that's why I'm glad, and I have nothing wrong with sustainability, but that's why I'm glad that they're working towards it 100% sustainable fuel, so that way it'll keep the sport alive. Because then maybe, just maybe, they'll go back to using bigger engines again, and maybe imagine they go back to using the V10. One of the V10 and the 4-rotor. Are like on that same level. Yeah. They just, both engines just sound absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely hum, don't they?
And so imagine if they could go back to that, because they then had a sustainable fuel. And like Formula One wants to be carbon neutral as well. So all this, and then maybe once they get to that point, car manufacturers, once Formula One discovers or makes this 100% sustainable fuel and it's affordable, I think you'll see car manufacturers taking suit, because I think they're only jumping on the electric wagon at the moment to please governments and to sort of keep their sales up and make it look like they're doing something. But I think as soon as a sustainable fuel comes in, that's when we'll really start to see manufacturers bringing out internal combustion engine cars again and starting to push that a bit more. Because it's going to be a shame if they all go.
Yeah. No, it won't quite be the same if you rock up to a meet and there's just Teslas everywhere and everyone drives away silently.
Like... I don't know. I've noticed there's been so many Teslas out on the road lately, but I don't know. I don't think that they look that cool.
Yeah,
I don't. They're bland.
When they came out, I thought it was kind of revolutionary. Yeah, but they're everywhere.
They're everywhere, but they're just really boring cars.
You can't do anything with them. Like there's a Tesla.
Have you ever seen a Tesla with a modified body kit on it?
I don't even know if you can. I've seen roof rack is about the only mod.
Oh god,
it's all right. Like I mean, they can't tow. It destroys the battery. Chews the battery up.
Oh yeah, I bet.
A few of them have tow bars, but I think they're the older models. Yeah, and they have roof rack. It's literally the only thing you can do to it, and it's.
But they're just such a boring looking car. I get that they're quick.
Oh yeah,
like electric power cars are insanely quick. Yeah. There's no disputing that. The Rimac, for example, thing is just insane. And it's cool. Yeah. But I think like the whole all-electric sports car is a bit of a novelty. Yeah. It's cool because they're quick, but what petrol heads love is they love the smell and they love the noise. The noise most of all. Oh, yeah. That's what you love. And I think when you take that away from motorsport and the car community, all of that's going to die. And like that's what keeps, I think, a lot of brand loyalty is petrol heads, car enthusiasts, because car enthusiasts are the one that go out and buy the latest sports car, especially when they get out in their older age. But yeah,
I mean, like if you go to a car meet, you want to hear the exhaust, the engines blaring away. You want to hear someone hitting the blow off valve and the fluttering and all that.
Yeah, you want to hear someone limmy bash. You want to,
of course, even if it's not the greatest car, someone's hitting the limmy and you're like, someone's trying. Really
trying. Exactly. You might talk a bit of shit about them because you're like poser or whatever. Like car sounds shit, but you
hear the electric hum of like a Nissan Note passing you. And
you don't even hear an electric hum. It's just
it's got to be going like 80 for you to hear that hum. But it just you hear tires on road and it's you hear like a whoosh.
Or you hear a bit of a like what you hear in electric E, and it's just ear piercing and it sounds crap.
Yeah.
Like Formula One, you hear the cars go past, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Car meets, you hear the cars from ages away. Everyone starts their car up, and you hear them idling. And you're like, oh, even just the idle of cars, like the idle of a rotary that's been Bridgeported, just amazing. The idle of a V8.
Oh yeah.
The smell of...
You need that petrol smell.
You do. You need it.
Even if you sit there and get absolutely loopy off the fumes, you need to sit there.
It's all part of it. Like, it's all part of it, though. It's all part of that experience. And I think when you take that away, it's going to really kill the car scene.
Yeah.
Because it takes away what people love. Yeah, the car might look cool. And it might handle really well, but a lot of it is how it sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can't personalize them either.
Nah.
I think I saw a video a while ago. Maybe
you might be able to change the color, but that's about it.
Yeah,
you can change the horn to make it make other sounds, but...
So I saw a video maybe a year ago of this one guy who bought a Tesla, one of the sort of the more base models.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted it out though, took all the seats, literally weight reduced it as much as he could. And then he went to like a drag strip and he just raced with all these other cars. And you get these like multiple 1,000 horsepower cars that are absolute like fat slicks on the back and they're running NOS and they're doing everything. He was beating them and they're like, well, this isn't what it's about. Like, you've paid a lot of money for a car, yes, and so have we. But you've literally paid for the horsepower. Yeah. We've put like blood, sweat and tears into this car. And
you pour so much into it. And car enthusiasts don't always just want to buy an insane car. It's different when you're buying a hypercar or supercar or something like that, because that's just a different breed. Yeah. But when you're buying a car that you want to take drag racing, you don't want to just buy something that's just insanely quick off the bat. The whole part of it is personalizing the car and making it your own. Yeah. And if you take that away from the community, what are you going to do? Hack into a Tesla to make it go a little bit faster to overcharge the batteries? Like, where's the fun in that? What's way more fun is actually building the car from scratch. Yeah. I wouldn't be rebuilding this Porsche engine, like, if I didn't love it or didn't want to do it. And that's all part of the fun is like building this car and like...
You know exactly every bolt and nut in that car. Yeah. Like, I put that there and I remember when I did this and I did that. And
exactly.
It's exactly what you wanted it to be.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. With these Teslas and all that, it's just buying the horsepower and just being able to go out and beat a car because they get off quicker from the mark. It's pretty much the reason why, is because they've just got the power instantly there to the wheels, gone. Whereas, like you're saying that, it's all part of building your car to beat it. A couple years ago at, I think it was Chrome, they do the drag racing there. There was a McLaren or something that was smoking everyone. And there was a video then, it was a Lambo. I think it was actually a Lambo. Yeah. Some guy took a Lambo and was like, obviously beating most of the cars because Lambos are fucking quick. Yeah. You know him, 40 PSI. The R32 GTR. That thing. 40 PSI. That thing is absolutely insane. He beat this Lambo. And everyone, was just like, fuck yeah. Because Lambos are cool. And you can modify Lambos and all that. But you know that this guy has built this R32 GTR to be an absolute weapon. And when you see a car like that beat people, you know that there's been blood, sweat and tears poured into that car to make it do that. To make your car do what all these multi-million dollar, probably billion-dollar car companies fun to do. That some dude in his garage, maybe with his mates and with his experience at his job and whatnot, has built this car to just be an absolute fucking weapon. Yeah.
Oh, that guy's a fucking beans. I love that car.
Oh, man. My mate Reed and I, we were in his DC5 Type R at Clubfest 2 years ago and just doing like the track circuit. Just going around the track on the cruise, and then 40 PSI came up next to us, and just the sound of that thing was amazing. And he took off that, and we were like, our jaws dropped. I was like, that thing is insane. See him down the straight edge, just take off. And it was ludicrous. But
yeah,
that car is absolutely insane.
yeah,
Good on him.
mm.
But I think we'll end the podcast there on that note.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
We appreciate your support. Comment, like, subscribe, share it around. I'll do a bit more promotion this time on the podcast before it gets released. But we'll see you guys in a month's time for the next one.
See you guys then.